So, folks, here I am, Bob again, zooming into the problem areas. Here we come. First, you have Yemen, the Houthis, Red Sea in trouble. Then you come up here, you have Israel in trouble with Lebanon and the Palestinians. Then you come here, you have Iran. Iran's firing missiles into Iraq, into Syria, and into Pakistan. You have Pakistan that's firing missiles into Iran, but is that a problem? Then you come to the other part of India's periphery, Maldives, big problem as you see it. Social media has created all kinds of problems. Pakistan, obviously, a huge amounts of uncertainty. Then you come this side, the bigger issue which we forget is Myanmar. Myanmar is having problems all over the place, affecting Manipur, affecting Mizoram, and it's also having problems with China, though there seems to be some deal that may have been done. Okay. As we come into this process, right? This is a new way of doing things. I've shown you the map. I'll talk about it now in detail a little bit. This is Bob, folks, on this coldish Saturday morning, right? Sorry about that. It's coldish Saturday morning. Wearing a New York Yankees jacket, so you know which way my allegiance lies. So here we have, right? I got these four stacks. I got Jaishankar, Houthi, Israel, Netanyahu. I've got what's happening in Pakistan, Iran. I've got up Houthis, right? And I've got this, right? This is what? This is Modi, Putin review ties, discuss future initiatives. India reduces Russian oil import overpricing. Now this is a cover up, right? What's happened here? So you wondered, I told you the last time, 5 days in Russia, what is it? They're not giving us any arms anymore, right? Is it about stalled arms platform delivery? Could be, right? But most likely it's about the fact that our oil's gotten stuck, number of ships on the high seas, sanction threats against ports if they're docked, and trouble in paradise. And you got all these rupees that need to be paid to Russia. They're lying in Indian banks, right? Big trouble. EAM, Ukraine counterpart discuss bilateral ties, conflict with Russia. India has not sent any artillery ammunition to Ukraine, says MEA. This is another big point, right? Russia flagged supply of India-made 155 artillery shells to Ukraine. Now here's the funny thing. Pakistan's made hay while the sun shines. India got stuck in the lights, right? Headlights, right? Oh, and then, like I told you, the other problem that's happening on the other side is going to impact our northeast. Is almost 300 Myanmar soldiers free to India, and 5 Manipur civilians die in fresh clashes. Myanmar military and guerrilla groups reach truce deals in northeast China. 3 bodies found as tensions roil Manipur's buffer zone, right? So this is related to Myanmar. Okay. Now let's come to the other favorite point, Maldives. Maldives now is a place where you find how not to run foreign policy through social media. Maldives, Rao, 3 key issues. Now remember what's important, why Maldives needs us. And this is people actually calling me. One is education, one is economic dependence, help during disasters, but more security provider, but more importantly, health provider. Most of them come for healthcare to India. Unfortunately, because of our policies, they're going to Sri Lanka, they're going to Bangladesh. But India is their preferred place of first preference, right? Maybe small, but can't be bullied. Maldives president, Indian troops in Maldives managing choppers, aircraft for its forces. Maldives, India, China, history shapes the present as written by Arup K. Chatterjee, rightly. Nevertheless, the challenges that confront Indo-Maldivian relations are seen to overlap with challenges confronting the Maldives. The increasing Islamization of Maldivian society and anxieties of the subsequent economic hollowing out of the littoral state. It will be interesting to see the impact on Maldives' domestic politics of geostrategic forces revolving around the Chinese string of pearls strategy at play in the Indian Ocean. Now let me talk about this pearl strategy, right? You have this guy who goes around and says ports in Gada, ports in Sri Lanka, port in Maldives, port in Burma, and says that India is at a loss and is surrounded. But just remember this, right? Remember Pearl Harbor, remember the U2 boats. Why do I suggest that? You remember Pearl Harbor. To get to Pearl Harbor, what kind of logistical nightmare it was for the Japanese. Similarly, remember the U-2 boats of the Germans, how when the supply chain was between the going across the Atlantic from the United States to for the war effort, for the World War II effort, how they knocked the ships out. Same thing flies for China, folks. Don't worry about this, everybody going about Sri Lanka, Maldives. It's not an imminent threat. Why it's not an imminent threat? Remember, neither Russia nor China has the ability to fight a war on foreign land. None of them have the logistical capability. Absolutely no heavy lift capability in China at all. So rest assured, and if they're coming into our backwaters, we definitely, just the logistical advantage we have will make sure that any numbers advantage they have is null and void, right? China fully backs sovereignty of Maldives President Musizu. Maldives takeaway, as written by funny man Jag Surya. Driving a wedge between India and the archipelago nation is part of Beijing's plan. Two Chinese comrades exulting over the hullabaloo in India over Maldives. First comrade, General Secretary Xi's Maldives strategy is working wonderfully. Second comrade, it sure is. Even better than comrade General Secretary Xi expected it to. First comrade, first we got those three stooges in Maldives government to say less than flattering things about the Indian PM to get a reaction. Second comrade, and what a reaction we got. Better than anything that comrade General Secretary Xi would have hoped for. This is what I mean, right? Maldives president asked Indian to withdraw troops by March 15, pull out military staff by March 15, says Maldives. Jai Shankar, Maldives minister meet in Uganda will boost ties. How they'll do that, I don't know. But doing diplomacy with patience in Maldives, as Sham Saran, strained Delhi-Malay relations will boost Chinese presence in the Indian Ocean. There are two important omissions in the joint statement. There is no reference to the implementation of the FATA, China and Maldives, critical for fish resources, because all that China wants from this is fish, right? Secondly, a Chinese project for a joint observation station which would have given it a vantage position to monitor maritime traffic in the part of the Indian Ocean has also not been mentioned. Then, what should India's approach in this be? One, foreign policy must not be run in response to social media. Second, the parliament in the Maldives is dominated by the Indian-friendly Maldivian Democratic Party, whose representatives have severely condemned the anti-Modi tweets, and the new mayor of Malé is from this party. So, all is not lost yet. So we shouldn't go gung-ho about trying to trash what we have, right? And then you have the other big thing that's happening, right, is Iran and Pakistan. But just to remember, it's about Balochistan. Neither of them are going to go to war with each other because neither of them want a free and independent Balochistan, right? What is this then? I will tell you, right? Making an insecure Asia, as Anju Gupta writes, Iran strikes in Pakistan, Iraq and Syria suggest deeper links amongst extremist groups, and most of it certainly do. Gaza, Red Sea in focus on EAM's Tehran visit. Amid fears of escalation in crisis, EM to leave for Iran on Monday. Now here's the question, just remember on the timing. Pakistan launches a strike against Iran during the same period. Houthis are creating trouble for the forces, for the shipping lanes which are critical for India. India's out there going to Iran. Are we the ones who are stepping in to kind of bridge the gap between the United States and Iran? Are we? Otherwise, what was really the point of going to Iran? Especially, I'll tell you why. It really never doesn't bear any much fruit. IS claims responsibility for twin bombing in Iran. EM bound for Iran, Israel, Hamas conflict, Houthis attack on agenda. And like I said, Iran also ran. Jaishankar's visit is useful, but New Delhi's key interests in West Asia don't include Tehran. Like I said, navigating fault lines. India, therefore, is caught between Iran's axis of resistance on one hand and the US-Israeli Arab partnership on the other hand. And despite the China-mediated Saudi-Iran deal last year, the war in Gaza and the situation with the Houthis show the two West Asia rivals remain far apart. Then, converging interests, but giving the modernization drive in Gulf Arab states, Israel's economy and growing India-US strategic partnership, New Delhi's interests lie here. Iran won't get off sanctions soon and is locked in partnership with China and Russia. While it helps New Delhi to not completely burn bridges with Tehran, Tehran needs New Delhi to balance Beijing. The two countries will remain on divergent paths in the near future. Pakistan warns of consequences as Iran strikes terror bases in Balochistan. India objects to UK diplomats' POK visit. Pakistan strikes Baloch terrorist hideouts inside Iranian territory. Pakistan recalls its envoy. India backs Iranian action. Why would it do that, right? Iran Pak attack amid joint drill raises an eyebrow. There was a joint drill happening between Pakistan and Iran. What it says is, it must be remembered that both Iran and Pakistan remain on the same page on the Palestinian issue. Iran needs to show its prowess by precisely targeting the locations to scare away the US and Israel. And the same thing for Pakistan. Pakistan is scaring away India, and this message by Iran is to the United States and Israel. Iranian strikes in Pakistan and Iran inflame regional tensions. Not really. Fears of wider conflict as Pakistan strikes back at Iran. Watching Red Sea with concern, says India. Iran asks Islamabad to shut down border terror camps. Jaishankar, Raisi discuss Red Sea attacks, Gaza situation. Iran launches missile strikes in Iraq, says Israel spy base. Like I said, it's done it in Iraq, Syria, and shown its prowess in Pakistan. And GA, BLA, militant groups, Iran, Pak hidden cross-border strike. It says, when Iranian missiles and drones hit Panjgur in Pakistan's Balochistan province, they proposed target two strongholds of the Jaish al-Adha, one of many Sunni Salafist militant groups fighting for independence in Iran's Sistan and Balochistan province. Right then, Pakistan targeted Iran-based hideouts of two Baloch militant groups, the Baloch Liberation Front and the Balochistan Liberation Army. It deems terrorist organizations. So they're basically on the same page. Tit for tat, that's that, as Saeed Alpha Hussain writes. Iran and Pakistan's self-styled homes of Shia and Sunni Islamism and violence exporters have bombed bits of each other. Is that a third war brewing after Ukraine and Gaza? Likely not. Why likely not? Here's why not. Iran, Pakistan, the Baloch militancy. That's why not. Iran, Pakistan have attacked militant bases in each other's territory, but also reaffirmed their commitment to good relations. But in the context of the Middle East conflict, their actions mark a dangerous escalation. He says the common Baloch problem, some 9 million ethnic Baloch live on either sides of the 909 kilometer Iran-Pakistan border in the Pakistan province of Balochistan and the Iranian province of Sistan and Baluchistan. Another 500,000 live in the neighboring areas of Afghanistan. Iran and Pakistan have earlier cooperated to combat the Baloch insurgency. At the same time, the insurgency has been a source of tension and two countries accusing each other of harboring and supporting terrorists. According to Raja Mohan, Pakistan's retaliatory strikes were intended to send a message to India as well. For Pakistan, this is as much a message to India and the Pakistan Taliban is to Iran, he said. With its quick and strong response, Pakistan hopes to possibly deter India from carrying out cross-border attacks in the future. With the elections coming up, they are worried. Also, Sabah said, for Iran, Israel or the Saudis or even the US might be behind the most recent spurt of Jaish al-Adl activity on its soil. That is why Iran seems to have stepped up its attack on militants beyond the standard infantry and artillery operation, which has happened in the past. In effect, both Iran and Pakistan strikes seem to have intended as warning shots to deter their enemies from fomenting trouble in their respective territories. And then you have this, it's the Houthi issue, right? Jaishankar raises issues of Houthi attacks with Iran. US military carries out fourth attack on Houthis in a week. Biden admits US strikes haven't deterred Houthis. Navy rescues ship with 9 Indians after drone attack, right? Red Sea and ship of states. And this is why this is important, right? US-led strikes won't stop Houthi attacks on ships. GOI should prepare for trade disruptions, low value, high volume exports, critical imported parts of factories. Russian oil are among critical commodities at risk. GOI should consider subsidizing higher freight insurance costs. And then you have this, working with Tehran on the Red Sea crisis, as written by Kabir Taneja. Regional security in West Asia stands at a precarious intersection. While Tehran is utilizing the war on Gaza to further its agenda, Riyadh, technically at war with the Houthis since 2015, normalized relations with Iran last year in a deal brokered by China. This decision in some part was taken by the Saudis due to the increasing unreliable American security umbrella. A debilitating security situation around these critical sea routes has always been a recurring conundrum for India. And then you have this trouble in Israel, right? Israel PM Netanyahu says he opposes a Palestinian state. Israeli tanks back in area of North Gaza. They had exited. Hezbollah attacks are forcing Israel into a multi-front conflict. IDF begins ground combat. Israel relations with the UN plunge to new low. Fears of a new front for Israel. Israeli officials Tehran to take the war to a second front. IDF faces a harsh reality in southern Gaza. Beirut, Iran attack sparks fears of regional war for West Asia, says the United States. Then you have this. IDF faces a harsh reality in southern Gaza. It says fighting is fiercer in Khan Yunis and it won't be easy to kill Hamas leaders and rescue hostages. Absolutely true. We are finding that out. US, Europe make new push to stop Gaza war from escalating. Israel's post-war Gaza plan exposes divisions in government. Chests with bombs, a short attempt to explain the infernal complex and deadly chessboard of West Asia, which includes Balochistan to Levant, right? Then you have this, warning signs from West Asia. Tehran's missile launches threaten escalation of the war in Gaza and opening of new theaters. Israeli tanks renew push towards biggest hospital in South Gaza, and that is trouble, folks. Washington steps up effort to choke funding for Tehran-backed Houthis, and US-UK airstrike in Yemen target Iran-backed Houthis. US-UK launches strike across Yemen in response to Houthis' Red Sea attacks. US-UK military strike Houthis targets in Yemen. And India is best positioned to convey to Iran the need to rein in the wood. It is actually. That's why it probably went there, right? Tehran and sea sharks. Houthis' targeting of merchant vessels in the Red Sea has forced major shipping and freight companies to avoid the Suez Canal and take the circuitous route around the Cape of Good Hope to Asia. Now, Red Sea attacks, why India is strategically silent on Iran rule? And that's the funny part, right? It says, the attacks of the two vessels have highlighted the importance of India's oil security, as the Red Sea is one of the two routes which secure India's oil supply, the other being the Persian Gulf. Houthis' attacks in the Red Sea and now those drone strikes in the Persian Gulf have highlighted the vulnerability of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Despite its stated aims to secure the sea lanes of trade in the region, India did not join Operation Prosperity Guardian, a US-led maritime security initiative to address security challenges in the Red Sea and ensure freedom of navigation. There are two reasons for that. One, India has always been wary of joining any coalition with the United States. The second reason is India's own relations with Iran. Moreover, maintaining its own foreign policy position on this matter highlights India's commitment to strategic autonomy. It's a good reminder of those who see the world through a bipolar lens, and there is now a multipolar world. See, this has always been the hope. As I said, you see this, right? You have Israel. You have Israel against Hezbollah and Palestine, both supported by Iran. Then India is on the side of Iran because Iran's attacked Pakistan. But India is rushing to Iran because you have the Red Sea problem, you have the Houthis problem, right? But I think our foreign policy is falling off the rails. After seeing what's happened in Maldives, now seeing the world moving in such fast circles, I think India is one of those few nations which has the capability or would have had the heft, but I think somewhere it's lost in domestic politics noise. 3 cheers and Jai Hind.